Greetings, delegates to the Brainwiz Model United Nations Conference, which will be held at Terry University 5 and 6 October 2013. In particular, I would like to welcome you as the President of the UN Security Council in this Model United Nations, where we will be taking up the situation in Syria. This event will start on the 5th of October and last through the 6th of October. But in this video, I would like to guide you in preparing for this event well in advance of our Model United Nations sessions on the weekend of 5 and 6 October. In particular, I would like to urge you to look at the study guide that my colleagues from the Brainwiz organization have prepared with input from me, but which urge you to take a look at the UN Security Council report, which traces the activity of the UN Security Council and other UN organizations on the issue of Syria over the past several years. So though the references are fairly limited in number, the amount of detail that you'll find will require quite a bit of background reading for you in order to prepare for the events that will take place on the 5th and 6th of October. In addition, for those of you who represent the members of the UN Security Council, it's important that you look at the websites of the foreign ministries for the members of the UN Security Council. And there you'll find positions taken by your countries, and it will help you elaborate and to plan negotiating strategies that are in keeping with the policies of the countries that you will represent. Just as an example, I will not be representing the United States at this Model United Nations. Another delegate will. And for those of you on other delegations, you may also wish to look at the positions of other countries. The U.S. position is often detailed on www.state.gov or www.whitehouse.gov, and the positions of other members of the Security Council can be found on their national websites. And that is an important resource for people to get a sense of the real positions held by their countries on an issue that is currently on the world stage and under discussion in New York. In an effort to make our Model UN simulation more akin to what actually happens at the real United Nations, we have devised a slightly different schedule for the Brainwiz Model UN than for some of the other committees. And the intent is to minimize the time that is spent on procedural motions and to focus on having real negotiations and back and forth within the simulated debate on Syria. And for that reason, we will have what are called in New York informal consultations, which is in effect in Model UN parlance, moderated caucus for a set period of time. And that will allow the delegates to have a real back and forth and to begin to lay out what it is that they will propose regarding the situation in Syria. It will also allow our special rapporteur, who will be coming from Alma College in Michigan, and her name is Kara Nick, and she will be able to provide updates on the latest and most recent information coming out of the UN to update council members as the simulation goes forward. So during these times, we will have an opportunity to hear from Kara Nick, who will be the special rapporteur. We will also, in order to showcase your speaking abilities, have on the very first day a UN Security Council debate. That is a formal meeting on the situation in Syria, and that will be according to the speakers list. So you will have an opportunity to showcase the position of your country, as you understand it, in that formal debate. Then we will have, as you know from the conference guide, a working lunch. And I really do hope this is more than just a socializing activity, but an opportunity for you to sit with either like-minded countries or with countries for which you may have a disagreement, and to try to hammer out some ideas to put forward on paper in a resolution or in a statement that would be adopted by the Security Council. After that lunch, an extended period in which you will have an opportunity to meet, maybe in small groups, to hammer out your negotiating strategy, we will have another informal consultations of the Security Council. And that will be another moderated caucus where I and my vice president will help to structure the debate and to allow people to have as free a flowing exchange of ideas as possible. That will continue until evening when you break for dinner. And it's possible that the council will be called back into session depending on what the situation is on the ground and what the situation is in real time on Syria. But in any event, even if you're not called back into council, you will have an opportunity, I think, during your interactions with fellow delegates over the evening and into the following morning to discuss the situation and to prepare text to debate on Sunday, the 6th of October. On the 6th of October, it will start with what we've called in the schedule a diplomatic lounge or a delegates lounge. And that refers to a real place at the United Nations where delegates from all the countries, all the member states, get together, exchange ideas, both members of the council and non-members of the council, to formulate policy, to negotiate positions, exchange ideas, and to hammer out text for negotiation. That is not just a tea time. That will be, again, a time of work. And I stress that because you will have very limited time. This is a very intense period. And when we enter informal consultations again at 10:30 on Sunday morning, I hope that will be an opportunity to present revised texts or draft resolutions or draft presidential statements that can be put forward and debated and refined with a view to adopting a text in the afternoon. So again, the focus of our simulation is not so much going to be on just debate, but on who and which delegations work together to come forward with solutions to the situation in Syria, and in particular to operationalizing some of the agreements that have been reached at the UN over the past couple of weeks in real life. I want to also just to note that the study guide, which you have, will be updated. We will send an update with some relevant documentation. Any draft documents that we are aware of in the real Security Council, we'll share. If they aren't available and still being negotiated, then that will leave additional space for your creativity, your ideas to be put on the table to refine the way forward on the situation in Syria. So I look forward to meeting with you. I hope to organize and connect with you via Facebook so that we will have an opportunity to discuss this important subject well in advance of the 5-6 October meeting. And in that view, we will offer the resources of the American Center near CP, where you will have an opportunity, if you wish, to meet with our reference librarians and research your particular country's positions, to research the issue of Syria or related issues regarding chemical weapons. And you will have an opportunity to probe in depth the positions of your fellow delegates. So we will try to arrange that meeting perhaps as early as the 30th of September, and I look forward to meeting you then, or again, if you're not able to be in Delhi on that day, on the 5th and 6th of October. We look forward to welcoming a delegation from Alma College in Michigan, who have led and worked on similar simulations on Syria in years past, and will bring their views and perspectives to share with Indian and other counterparts at the Brainwiz Model UN. See you soon, and best regards.